Hey, how's it going, everybody? Lawler here. Got some Rocket League news coming for you for the rosters. Some teasers from some teams that we would love back in the scene, as well as a whole bunch of other signings and some more insight onto what might possibly be happening. We're going to fill in some of the gaps today for your RLCS roster news. What's up, everybody? Lawler here, inside source for all things Rocket League. Going to be talking about RLCS roster news and changes, and what better way to start it off than you subscribing. I'm baited. Yeah, if you guys enjoy the content, as always, like, subscribe, turn on notifications. We're trying to get to 50,000. We're about 10,000 away, trying to do it by the end of the year. Any of your support is greatly appreciated. Also, links to everything I talk about in today's video in the description. That said, first thing's coming from Cloud9. I've talked about this many times in the past, about how Cloud9 has hinted and stated they would love to be involved in Rocket League, but it's only going to happen if they pick up a top tier roster, a top dog, a team that most likely locally in North America can be one of the top 2, top 3, which I don't see that as a viable option right now. I don't see that there is any teams that they would be able to pick up that they could do that unless it was a massive buyout of a team like Energy, G2, and all top tier organizations. So I just don't see it happening. Maybe over in Europe, who knows? But I will say that they put out a tweet and part of the meme with the guy who's sad laying in bed looking at his phone, and then they put up the image of when they announced the departure of their team. Whether that is true or not, whether this hints at anything, whether it provides insight onto some future plans, we do not know. I will say the best possible teams I think that are available right now for Europe: German Amigos, Monkeys, the former Galaxy Racer team, White Demons, and then probably the Flying Dutchman. Probably the Flying Dutchman with Violent Panda and the boys. Maybe they could do some damage. Either way, will be interesting to see what happens. Maybe one of those teams gets picked up. Ultimately, not enough results to tell me, other than obviously one of the teams winning everything in the offseason, but they're not going up against the top dogs, so can I really credit it or not? I don't know. Either way, Cloud9 maybe coming back into the scene. Fingers crossed. Would be awesome to see. As for actual roster updates and things that are true or being speculated on, there's a couple that all coincide with each other, so I'll talk about those when the time comes. But the first one is going to come from eUnited, where they are saying goodbye to Dapper. Dapper, we have agreed on terms on the release of from our starting roster. We'd like to thank him for his time with eUnited and wish him the best of luck moving forward. We will have further information regarding our roster in the coming weeks. So, a couple things that I'm trying to insinuate from this. I mentioned, according to the rumors and the things I've heard from my inside sources, that RLCS was supposed to be starting like October. I would assume announcements and formats and stuff like that should be in the next few weeks here. Most likely in the middle, around September 15th, maybe 16th, somewhat in that area, with a couple weeks to solidify and get finishing touches going. With that said, hopefully a lot of these rosters are going to be announced by then, and we can kind of figure everything out and put them in a overall video for all of you watching. But Dapper, no longer. I assume it will go to some sort of content creation position on another team if he can find that opportunity. I almost just fell over. Up next, another signing, and in a different regard. Esports team Alpine Esports, owned by Wisdom Gaming Group, is picking up Chelsea as a content creator. A lot of content creators being signed lately to organizations, which is awesome. It provides stability and opportunities and a lot of really cool things. When I was out visiting the Version 1 headquarters, people from Alpine Esports or the Wisdom Gaming Group were there. Lovely people, and excited to see what they do in Minnesota. They've got a lot of really fun stuff coming up in the near future, which I'm excited for Chelsea that she gets to be involved in if they do. So cool stuff for her, and congrats to Chelsea on getting signed by Alpine Esports. Jumping over to OCE briefly, one of the players on Overt, if you don't know Overt, this was a team that basically came together during the spring split of last season and had some decent results. Ended up finishing top 6, which isn't too bad for a new team. But one of the players, Scrubbed, ended up putting out that they are now LFT. He had multiple talks and doesn't see things working out as people were clashing. We're all young players. We don't want to limit ourselves by trying to make a dream work that just can't. Not sure on the actual details of what is going on there. A lot of people are actually surprised by this, but drops some love to the former teammates and is going to be looking elsewhere. So unfortunately here for Scrubbed, he is no longer on the team. He's a 15-year-old kid who has a lot to go in his career, while Super Leahy and the Banana Head will be sticking together under Overt. So new LFT there, kind of a roster change. Curious to see what happens, because OC is usually all over the place during the offseason during roster changes. Now for the next one, there is 3 rosters that we're going to be paying attention to. Number 1, Kansas City Pioneers. Number 2, Ghost. Number 3, Soniqs. We're going to start with Soniqs right away. Moving into the new season, we've parted ways with Roldiz and Shock. Both of them have helped establish Soniqs, and we're grateful for their hard work this past year. Expected more updates on our roster coming soon. And there's been a lot of curiosity of what's going on with these 3 rosters. If you guys remember, I put a video out in regards to what is the assumed rosters for the end of the season. And in North America, it showcased that Soniqs was completely different. Ghost was changing, and there's a bunch of different things happening. And we were like, whoa, where did this come from? We're providing and trying to get some insight on that. The first thing for Soniqs, Roldiz did say on his stream when he was doing the Salt Mine Atlantic draft that he is looking to compete full-time and not coach. So it does look like that Roldiz and Shock will be joining Lion Blaze over on Ghost Gaming. That is the assumption of what that is going to be. On the other side of things, that then leads to, well, what's going on with Freshness and Mektos and everybody else? And they are now going to Kansas City Pioneers with Wondamike. And that leads me to the next point. Everybody's like, well, what the heck didn't Kansas City Pioneers just sign a team? It was Kronovi, Aeon, and Astro. What happened with that? Well, they announced that they're releasing that team. Kansas City Pioneers put out, we have decided to part ways with Astro, Aeon, and the sub Bob is valid. And we appreciate your time here at Kansas City Pioneers and wish you the best in your future ventures. So this kind of lines up that Freshness, Mektos, and Wondamike finally finding a home, are going to be playing for Kansas City Pioneers. And then Kronovi is going to go into the sub position, maybe coach, maybe possibly content creation. I don't know what Kronovi's plans are. I would like to see him stream and put out videos again, but who the heck knows? Ultimately, it's his birthday today when I'm recording this video, so happy birthday, Kronovi. I'm excited to see what you do in the future. But as for Kansas City Pioneers, Freshness, Mektos, Wondamike, Kronovi sub. As for Ghost, Roldiz, Shock, Lion Blaze, which still leaves Soniqs. What's going on with the Soniqs? T. Carell building a team around him. It looks like they're going to be taking ZPS and Andy from Charlotte Phoenix in order to build and fulfill the 3 for that roster. So, as a final reiteration, hopefully there's text somewhere on the screen to help you. Kansas City Pioneers, Freshness, Mektos, Wondamike. For Ghost, Roldiz, Shock, and Lion Blaze. And for Soniqs, T. Carell, Andy, and ZPS. That is all rumor. That is all speculation from behind the scenes based upon whisperings that are being heard. Whether that will come to fruition or not, we will have to wait and see. As for the complete antithesis of that, NRG, your North American best team, staying the exact same. No changes there. They did announce that they have extended the contracts of Justin, Garrett, Squishy, and Sizz. And unfortunately for Garrett, when he retweeted it, he had another 51 States moment and typed resigned instead of re-signed. Has never used a hyphen in his life and had some memes with it. So yes, Garrett is still staying with the team. Gave everybody a little bit of a scare after being with them for 5 years. That is going to continue. So energy staying the exact same as expected. And last but certainly not least, a lot of people have been wondering what the heck's going on with Virtuoso now that he is no longer with his old roster. What is the plan? He has announced his new team as well, alongside Kasai and Parka. Says he's really hyped with the team and the potential they are showing. Now it's time to grind, improve, and show it in RLCS, which is awesome to see. We are starting to find out with some of the team and players that were kind of left over, building and formulating a new team in hopes of making that RLCS deep run for RLCS 11, whenever the heck that will be announced. Again, as a reiteration, my assumptions based on what I've been hearing is for October with an announcement, most likely in the next couple weeks, maybe 2-3 weeks. Figure like the 14th to the 21st is when I would aim for that, with the season starting very quickly after that. So a lot of things pending, debating. There's 2 off-season tournaments coming up. There's been rumors of a $50,000 European tournament, an invitational. Details of that have not been made public. There is also the talks of Wave Dash from Dazarin, a $10,000/$20,000 content creation, but also tournament going on. Details of that, I'm going to be sitting down hopefully with Dazarin soon and talking about all those details. Also, in another upcoming video, I'm going to be sitting down and talking with Gregan, talking about what it means to be an RLCS coach, the process of picking up a new player, what goes on when you have to release a player, what's it like to be a coach, what are the things that you do, providing all that insight, and just catching up with Gregan because it's been a while since we've gotten to talk. So all that and more in upcoming videos, but that is going to do it for this video for your Rocket League news. If you guys, again, have any additional questions, comments, concerns, comments down below. Also, if you check out the community tab, you can ask questions to the post that I mentioned about Gregan. If you'd like to submit some for that, that'd be greatly appreciated. And as always, if you enjoy the content, give it a thumbs up, subscribe, turn on notifications. I'll see you in the next one. Can't believe I didn't mess up that outro. Peace.